clear choice of good versus evil, of right versus wrong.
Twisted Tales.
All right, welcome back, folks. Hope you're all well. So, my next episode, I have a guest, and we're going to talk to you about some scary stuff here. Now, this will be about a paranormal encounter and a tale up on a place called Enger Tower. It's up in Duluth, Minnesota. So, this happening spot's named after a dude named Daniel Graceland. So, he's had areas first known European. But I have a guest on here, and it's my buddy here from Facebook. And he's a well-known rapper, and he's known as the Hare Trigga. So say hello, man.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hell yeah. So we're gonna talk about Enger Tower. So it's kind of like how haunted is this place? Like, well, is it well known as a haunted spot, or?
Yeah, it's a pretty well-known spot. There's quite a bit of people that go up there, tourists from all over, people that live nearby. It's a pretty happening place, especially during like the day and stuff. But people that are going to investigate its paranormal activity tend to go later at night.
Okay, so probably more like more energy and stuff at night. My guess is.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Nice. So a couple paranormal encounters and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely been some paranormal encounters there. Seems to be a very aggressive spirit.
Yeah.
First heard about it from my fiance, who was telling me about different disappearances and accidental deaths that are ruled out as suicides that nobody else can explain, especially people that didn't have any kind of history with depression, things like that either. So it's
Oh.
pretty unusual, some of these encounters, and that's what gained my interest in it for real.
Well, yeah, because you gave me this and I checked it out there. So, like, the suicides they're just chalked up as suicides because they're unexplained or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, usually if people, jump out of a window or something, they're not going to take their dog and their family with them. They're
No.
not going to, there's certain things that they're not going to do, right? Certain way people act, things like that, when they want to get away with something like that and not have somebody, quote unquote, stop them, and things like that. But it's crazy. And it's not just the person that I'm related to either. It's a number of different other people. And then that's what we need, looking into it, things like that.
Trying to get all the info and everything explained, I guess, eh? And yeah, I guess we talked on paranormal encounters here. Now, this will refer to some events, experience, or phenomena that defy the normal scientific explanation, which is often attributed to the supernatural, magic or some otherworldly forces, say like ghosts, spirits, or psychic powers. Now, I actually looked this up here as like a ratio kind of thing. Now, approximately anywhere from 40 to 50% of adults in North America believe at least one form of paranormal phenomenon, such as like ghosts or like haunted place or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in Canada, well, I had to look this up too. It's actually anywhere from 44 to 50% of Canadians that believe in ghosts and everything.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of people.
Oh, hell yeah, man. It's like over like half, like almost half.
Yeah, and it's because a lot of people have encountered it themselves in some way, shape, or form. And I always look for like a scientific explanation to debunk it. And it's usually when I don't have one that I'm like, okay, this is the real deal.
Yeah. Well, even some people, like, they're scared so bad, like, they actually, like, they believe themselves that they believe what they've seen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the place that I mentioned about is called Duluth, and it's actually one of Minnesota's major port cities, and it's the largest metropolitan area on the shores of Lake Superior.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the whole port city here, it's actually built around a port. So this like kind of serves as a hub for international and domestic trade and stuff like that. This acts as like a crucial link for like global supply, cultural exchange, and economic development. And also, one of the city's claims to fame here is like it's the birthplace of pie a la mode, which is a pie served with a scoop of ice cream. So
Mm-hmm.
la mode means like I believe in the style of or in the fashion of. This was coined by a dude named John Garriott. Well, I mean there was other people that coined it, but he had reportedly served this dish to someone back in the 1880s here, and he actually owned a hotel here. This is called the Hotel La Pearl. Originally, it was actually called the Commercial, which was built in 1884, but then when he bought it, he renamed it in 1885.
Okay.
So this dude managed the hotel here till 1886. Then he moved to New York City, the big fucking apple, and this is where he passed away sometime in the year 1912. Now, throughout this dude's life, he was an inventor. He secured a bunch of patents. There was one for a railroad car ventilator in 1882, and then a fire escape in 1899. So this dude was up and building shit. So look at him
That's
go.
pretty cool. I didn't know that. I love learning new things.
Well, you got to check everything out, right? Like when you're doing a pod, you got to find out like everything you can about the city and everything, which I think, is pretty cool to add into.
Yeah, definitely. Because there's things even I'm learning about the city that I didn't know. As not
Hell yeah.
originally being native to Duluth, learning more and more about it is really cool.
Yeah, man. That's how it should be. Learning is fun.
Yeah. Helps me with my lyric writing too. I
Yeah.
uh I usually do some studying and information before I begin a verse or something like that to get more information on it. This way it's more relative to topic and I can stick to the
Mhm.
topic better and things like that.
Well, that's good. It gives you an idea and you can brainstorm from there, right? About everything
Yeah.
that goes on in that area, your friends, whatever you're rapping about, right?
Yeah, I just did it last night as a matter of fact. You're learning about morgues and what morticians do. This way it helped me with oh, okay, I want to put this in there. And then I could rhyme it with this, and this also, relates to it or whatever. By the time I was done with it, man, the guy that I'm working on the track with was just blown away.
Nice. So it all came together.
It really did, yeah. He wasn't too happy with the first verse, and I said, "What's wrong with it?" He said, "Well, it needs to be rap faster, and it doesn't really quite stick to the topic." And I'm like, "I can stick to topic. Give me a few." So took about anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes to do some research on it, learn some stuff, take some notes, and then write my lyrics.
Well, that's good, man. So we both right.
I love to write. I've hated it when I was a kid though. But I had my fourth grade teacher really believed in my ability to write. She told me that I had quite a gift for it, and that if it killed her, she was going to get me to like writing, and she did. She didn't die, but
Sucks she died, but still she
no, I said she didn't die though. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
she didn't.
But she definitely had a passion for teaching, and she saw that come to light when she first showed me poetry and saw how well I had a gift for writing poetry at such a young age.
Hmm.
I almost could like forge words in there and make them rhyme, in a way that I'm still saying what I want to say and still make them rhyme, almost as if I'm manipulating the words.
Gotcha. That's pretty fucking cool, man.
It is. It is really cool. A lot of people, they when they see my lyrical structure, they go, "Dude, that's a lot like Eminem." In a way, not his style or anything, just the man's got an extraordinary vocabulary, and
Yeah,
I
he
do
does.
too. But that comes from mom making me write sentences and definitions and citing thorises and encyclopedias for discipline when I was little. I was
He
a
was an
little badass
encyclopedia
too,
for
so I was
business.
always in trouble.
Yeah, I was no angel either, buddy. I hear you on that.
Yeah, but it taught me a lot.
As it should.
Hmm I hated every second of it then, but now that I'm older, I even tell my kids like education is very essential, and
Mm-hmm.
it's something that I think that we don't focus on enough. If I'm being honest,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Like a lot of people just like, no, not everyone, but there's a lot of stuff with technology now. It's like, all right, here's your tablet, see you later kind of thing, right? Like you can't just
Mhm.
do that.
Yeah, and trying to get society to gain back focus on the interaction with one another, things like that is hard too. Even like with my daughter, like I would like to see her be off of her tablet, her phone, and her Game Boy and stuff, and well, Nintendo Switch, but same thing.
Yeah.
A little bit more, you know what I mean? But it's hard because even other kids, if they come over, if they're around the house, what are they doing? They're into their technology. So, you know what I mean? There goes that idea. But
Yeah.
when we were growing up, I mean, we didn't have all that stuff, man. Maybe a Game Boy, but not, you know, all this other crap and
No.
everything else. There was more interaction. We got into more
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah. Well, I had a Nintendo with Mario 3, right? And I got Game Boy later on, but that was pretty much all I had.
I had a Game Boy later on too, and I definitely didn't get to get it right away. But
No.
once I had it, I loved that thing.
Oh man, so many good memories. Now, speaking of memories though, there's like a lot of cool shit to do in Duluth too.
Hmm?
You can check out the world famous aerial lift bridge to all the cool neighborhoods there. They're filled with tons of local breweries too, and a bunch of kick-ass restaurants.
You know, I'm just giving you feedback as you're going through that list and describing different things. Just
No, this is good, man. I appreciate that.
think it makes for a good pod.
Yeah, plus there's like a bunch of local kick-ass breweries here. There's the Ursa Minor Brewery, and there's
Mhm.
Blacklist Brewing Co. You know any of the breweries there?
I'm actually sober. Been sober for going on 20 years. But it is
Good.
cool to learn about its history, the brewery's
Hmm.
histories and stuff like that. So I've done some of that, learning about it, but going there and stuff like that, I try to kind of just yeah, it's a trigger. You know what I mean? So I gotta avoid it.
No, I get that too. I used to drink, and yeah, no, that still sticks with me some days.
Yeah. There's some days it's like it's never was there, and other days it's like, man, you know, and you definitely call your name sometime.
Oh man, well, like I went 3 years before I fell off, and yeah, good now.
Right on.
Yeah, back at her now. I think I'm like 6 months now.
That's good. That's real good, man. Well, it allows us to be there for our families and things like that too. And that's important. We don't always look at it as we're hurting them. You know what I mean? We just think we're hurting ourselves.
Yeah, well, I mean that's fuck. The only person we're hurting is ourselves with that shit, right?
Hmm
Now I mentioned that you're pretty well known around the Minnesota area and other surrounding areas like Detroit and other stuff. Where have you rapped at?
I've done shows all over. Um, I was supposed to go to one yesterday, but some unforeseen circumstances made it where I couldn't go. But I was supposed to perform there for Dropic's birthday. He's a local rapper, very well known in Minnesota, and he definitely wanted me to be one of the MCs there. And I
Nice.
tried everything to make it, but sometimes, my family comes first. So that's more important to me. But if I could have made it, I would have loved to.
Oh yeah.
I've done other local shows, weddings, different kinds of events, smaller events, graduation parties, all kinds of things.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, and a couple years ago, it's almost 3 years ago now. Um, I was in like Chattanooga, Tennessee area quite a bit,
Yeah.
doing shows out there. Yeah, yeah, and that was pretty exciting stuff. Getting to just engage with people, and man, I was actually surprised anybody showed up because I didn't know how big of an impact on the culture I really had until I seen the people there. There was a lot of people
Yeah.
there. And that's amazing. I've gotten to open for Haystack, even though I later found out that he's into the whole chomo thing, so I can't work with him. But
Yeah.
growing up, when I first did get clean, he had a song about sobriety, and it helped me through some very dark times. So when I had met him originally, and mind you, again, I didn't know anything about his criminal history. I just knew that that song was a good song, and I thanked him for that. We got to do a
Mhm.
meet and greet, autograph, stuff like that. For the fans, and that was really cool. That was really
Hell yeah.
cool. Yeah, that was on like New Year's Eve, 2024. So really
Okay.
awesome. Yeah.
That's cool. So, also, you're CEO of Killer Bees Wasp Division, managed by the Wu-Tang Solomon Child. So that's pretty cool, man. Tell me about that.
So I actually belong to what's known as the Worldwide Collaboration. Anybody can join it. You don't have to be a musician, but there are many musicians in there too. Promoters, producers, rappers, singers, you name it, man. Just all walks of life because it's all about connecting movements worldwide. And one of the promoters actually showed Solomon Childs a song that me and Cody Arnold had put together, titled Wu Tang's Tribute. I grew up listening to Wu Tang, huge fan of them, and wanted to do something to show them to honor them.
Hmm.
And I did not expect to get back to him. As a matter of fact, when we were in the middle of it, I said, dude, I don't think it'll ever get to him. But it did. Oh, it did. And he actually reached out through the promoter. She said, "Hey, Solomon Child's like your phone number." And I'm like, "Yeah, right. This is some kind of scam, right?" I'm like,
Hmm.
"Whatever. I'm going to give him my phone. And if it isn't a scam, I'm just going to give it to my kids to play with." And, but no, he was the real deal. He even had me verify it through Instagram, talk to him on his verified account and everything like that. And at first we were just talking about doing some collaboration work on a couple of tracks, but those tracks landed me on the Wu Tang Clan for Life blog, and ended up with those two tracks and then the Wu Tang's tribute on my album, Chessman, which was released later in 2022. And from there, he decided to make me the CEO of the Wasp because he really liked a lot of business ideas and things like that I had had.
Very cool.
Uh,
That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, we're actually working on a mixtape right now and things like that. And we just launched Ninja Hits magazine, and Ninja is my vice president of the Wasp, and he just recently flew out to New York, got to meet Solomon Childs. They did a music video and a couple cameos for an upcoming Netflix series.
Well, shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's
That's
pretty
pretty
cool to
dope,
get
man.
to be part of.
Oh,
And to be able to help direct that is just amazing. I love it.
yeah, no, that's pretty cool though, man. Well, especially since like the Killer Bees here, like that refers to like you said, like a large collective of artists and groups affiliated with the Wu-Tang Clan, right?
Correct, correct. Many are blood relatives and things like that of the original Wu Tang Clan, including Solomon himself. So it is really cool and most of them are like native to New York, Staten Island. You know what I mean? And here I am out in the Midwest, and this guy's like, "Hey, bro, come on," you know. And it's like that's cool for him to take me under his wing like that. It was definitely I wasn't expecting it, and I just was mind blown by the whole thing. But he just wanted my ideas, and we put them together, and he had some ideas, and we formed the Wasp, man, and it's just really cool that it's grown to be such a big thing. We even have another member who is both a killer bee, and now he's a killer bee wasp too. He goes by Saber Wu, and he has good ties with Method Man. So I mean, you know what I mean. So it's really cool what we get to do.
Yeah, man, that's pretty sweet how you do what you do, man. Like, congrats on that. That's fucking following your dream right there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, when did you start battling on the streets there? Was it back in Detroit in 2001, I think? Motor City?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was those days I was at a birthday party on my buddy, and another guy that was there had told me, he was like, "Has he ever dissed you in his rap?" I was like, "I didn't even know you rap." He said, "Yeah, he's got this little 8 bar thing, and kind of puts everybody's name in there, right? So like, if he's dissing you, he'll put your name. If he's dissing me, he'll put my name. You know what I mean?" I said,
Hmm.
"Well, what do the bars say?" So he told me a couple of the bars, and I was like, "Does he have anything else?" And he goes, "No." I was like, "Oh, okay." I had never tried to rap before, but like I said, I was really good with like rhyming words, things like that already. And of course, he put me on the spot and decided that he was going to embarrass me by dissing me. So he did in his little posse. Mind you, there's about 50 people in this room. 20 of them kind of follow him everywhere and watch him diss people for their entertainment. And
Hmm.
when he dissed me, man, I fired back. And he choked in the second round. And I'm like, wait, what? That means I won? And everybody was just like, I mean, I got to, like, forget a standing ovation, dude. Like, they were pumping their arms in the air, screaming, shouting, everything, man. They were like, dang, you are good. And that really helped push that. And I'm like, dude, I like doing this. So I started writing bars. I started, formulating what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it. And then, you know, battle rapping is really big out there. As you've probably seen the movie 8 Mile, and if you haven't, you need to.
Yep.
But the scene out there is huge for it. Even like if I went to go donate plasma or something, oftentimes, somebody may have heard me rap before and know a guy who raps like, hey man, this guy wants to battle you. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? And who wants to go first type thing, and like whoever,
Hmm.
bro, it don't matter. And then, yeah, I've got some credibility that way. And I didn't
Nice.
really think about becoming a recording artist until after I had gotten sober. And I was a security guard at a venue there in Detroit, and I started networking with a lot of local artists, producers, promoters, and things like that, and seeing the way that the business was ran. And that made me. I was already going back to school at that point to get my GED, and then I
Hmm.
later studied at Full Sail University.
Nice. That's pretty good, man. Congrats.
Thank you. I love everything about it, and everything that I've gotten to accomplish is nothing shy of amazing for sure.
No, and that's good, man. Building yourself up, your career, everything, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that they called it the Motor City. This is because it became the global center for automotive industry sometime back in the early 20th century here. This is mostly thanks to like the pioneers like Henry Ford, the Dodge brothers, Ransom Olds, people like that. Mostly because like the moving assembly line and all that established in the big three here. That was Ford, GM, and Chrysler. So these guys like just revolutionized car manufacturing for fucking years to come, right? Still now. So it's pretty cool how the whole thing rolls. Like even the Detroit rap scene, right? I mean, that's like you were saying, it's just like 8 Mile. Like it's the whole significant subgenre of the Midwestern hip hop too, right? Aggressive lyrics, total like underdog spirit, right? And this actually reflects the city's blue collar roots and urban realities too.
It really does. It's really cool. It's really cool how it all comes together. And I know like a lot of people have this stigma of rap of, oh man, it's dangerous, it's this, it's that. But believe it or not, I never encountered that in any rap battles. I never had to worry about somebody trying to come back and shoot me. Nothing like that, man. We always shook hands at the end of it and actually became friends afterwards. It's just a
Hmm.
friendly competition of seeing who can outwit who. And no matter who won, no matter who lost, we always, shook hands at the end of it and began to network like that.
Good. That's pretty cool, man.
It is for
So,
sure.
so you mentioned you went to Full Sail University here. This was what, back in 2011 then?
Yeah, yeah. That was just after I had gotten my GED.
Okay. So you did that for music production up in Florida?
Yeah, I was an online student, but I love that you could do that remotely. I know you kind of mentioned that too,
Hmm.
but it was really cool. It allowed me to still be at home, work, help take care of my family, and still be able to go to school.
You got everything set up too. You can still like hang out with your family. You can still do your schoolwork. Now, the whole like online degree, it's actually earned primarily throughout the internet and everything, which allows students to complete their coursework digitally without attending a physical campus. You can use this by like webcast or video call, shit like that.
And then they also have a physical campus too. So if you're in the area down there in Florida, well, you can attend their campus. Their campus has some pretty cool stuff, man.
Oh, I would imagine.
Yeah, they're the sister school for the film school of Los Angeles is
Okay.
what they are. Yeah. And one of my classmates was related to Stevie Stone, like just different things like that. Man, it was really cool. We became good friends and worked together later on, and that helped lead me to work with Stevie and Snoop on the same track. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this place is located up in Winter Park, Florida, 3300 University Boulevard. It was actually established back in 1979, and it has over 26,000 students. And it was founded by a dude named John Phelps. So pretty cool that like they allow you guys to do your online degrees and everything and get your shit sorted out. Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Now you're also part of the Dog Pound, eh? The old DPG. Tell me about that.
So, like I said, that actually came about right after I got to work with Snoop. I had a friend request from OG Dubmac, who went
Hmm.
to school with Warren G, Snoop Dogg, and Nate Dogg.
Oh
And
shit.
yeah, so he did a lot of engineering in the early days for Death Row Records. Um,
Oh,
yeah, so he
cool.
would. He kind of did that, I think, before Dre came along, really. But it's just really cool because even Dre shouts out the Dog Pound in the song, which is probably the first hip hop song that had me hooked into hip hop that I had ever heard, which is Nothing But a G Thing by Dr. Dre featuring Snoop Dogg.
Baby.
He has a bar in there where he says, I'm mobbing with the Dog Pound, feel the breeze. And it's just really cool that I get to be associated with something that's so well grounded into hip hop, like Wu Tang.
Well, man, especially Wu Tang. Like Wu Tang's fucking wicked, man.
Right? Yeah, I mean, they're very well known for their lyricism. So,
Oh yeah,
for them
especially.
to be like, hey, we don't just want you to be a member. We want you to be up here. You know what I mean? Like, that's really saying something.
Yeah, man. Well, especially like since and yeah, to be associated with like Solomon Childs, man, like that's fucking awesome. Like he's a Staten Island artist who's very closely associated with various members of the Wu-Tang Clan, right?
Yes, he is. Yeah, he sure is.
That
And Buddhism teaches a lot about inner peace and how to maintain it, how to unlock it, and things like that. Where I feel that that's not taught enough to people, and we're
no,
left struggling with the inner war within ourselves quite a bit.
yeah, no, I get that. No, and as I mentioned here, the Wu-Tang Clan, like these guys are from Staten Island, New York, specifically the Park Hill and Stapleton areas. They're often called Shaolin. So this is actually the nickname for Staten Island, representing the heart of the clan's beginnings, right? So Solomon Childs here is like backed by RZA, like in a combination with his brother Divine, who's actually
Mhm.
CEO of Wu Music Group. And he has also released a couple like debut albums and shit there entitled The Voice of the People back in 2009. So it's pretty cool that he's like working, doing his thing, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And just what they're able to do for the culture over the years is just nothing short of outstanding for sure. That's why it's such an honor to be part of it,
Well, hell yeah, man. I mean, that's a pretty big honor, dude.
right? Yeah. So it's a big responsibility, but it's also something I take great pride in because, I just don't trust anybody else to do it.
Yeah, no. Plus, I believe in 2013, Solomon Childs appeared in the single "Bang to the Death." This is by Mike ADHD.
Hmm.
Plus, Solomon's got a bunch of other hit songs like "Why You Give Up on Us," "Smooth Sailing," and "Outthink Me Now." And he also released a single "As the World Turns." It's actually a pretty great tune. I fucking checked it out on YouTube, man. It's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got some
That
good
is
tunes.
pretty
I
good.
followed him on Facebook there when we were putting this pod together.
Yeah, and that's a cool thing too. I was definitely a fan of Solomon Childs. I definitely knew who he was. So for this man to be reaching out to me, I'm like, there's no way. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I grew up listening to this dude and everything else, and listening to the Wu Tang Clan and Old Dirty Bastard and them. You know what I mean? And it's like, no way, dude. Do I actually get to be associated with this? This is just too cool. And like I said, I didn't know if me working with Snoop was going to lead anywhere. I just got on that track and was so honored to be on it, push my best foot forward, put my best work into it, everything. And yeah, like I said, that later led to me. I'm actually business partnered with Fault Line Productions, which is ran by OG Dove Mac, who's also an affiliated member of the DPG. So he's the one who brought me in, and it's just really cool what I get to do there too.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
yeah, it's almost like when a boxer, right? He has two different belts from like the WBO and you know what I mean, like different classes, bro. It's like that's what it feels like. Like I'm a two-time champion or something. Is the
Yeah,
best way I could try to explain that.
no, like even like I listen to rap and everything. Yeah, like not often, but I mean I listen to your stuff, man. Like you're a great musical artist, dude. Like even on your YouTube, your TikTok, your Instagram, right?
Yes, I am. I got a pretty big feature coming up with both Redman and Method Man on the same song that's going to be on that too. I'm pretty
That's
excited, bro. Yeah, yeah, that's
not
dope. But what we're doing is we're promoting the single Problems, which has Ninja and Solomon Childs on it. And then I mean that's doing great. I think it's got over 87,000 reactions on Instagram
bullshit.
and 13,000 on TikTok with over 32,000 views on TikTok too. So it's definitely doing great. And like I told them, we'll just keep pushing this one track then because it's
Yep.
working, right? You don't break what Or you don't fix what isn't broken, right?
No, I knew what
So
you meant. That's awesome, buddy.
yeah, so I was like, dude, we're just gonna do that, and then we'll just when we drop it, we're gonna drop the rest of the tape and use that to kind of bring the audience in because they're gonna be looking forward. They're already looking forward to the song problems, and hey, they're gonna be like, hey, what else is on this tape, dude? Oh, I see Red Man, I see Method Man. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. You know, I definitely wanted to keep it true to the Woo.
No, and it's pretty cool that you got YouTube, TikTok. It's under what? The Hare Trigga, right?
Yes, sir. HareTrigga. Sometimes the the's on there, sometimes it's not. I think with the the's more of a branding purpose, and but a lot of people call me Hair Trick, so that's what I go by popular demand rather than what I actually initially named myself, which is the Hair Trick. But it works.
Yeah, no. And that's good. What works is fucking awesome, dude.
Right?
Your album there, what was the Journey in My Darkness is fucking fire. I listened to some of that.
Thank you. Yeah, I've gotten quite a bit of compliments on that album, just how well it's structured, put together, and the different topics that it focuses on, like mental health, addiction, parental alienation. So that's awesome that I'm getting recognized for that for sure.
Well, yeah, man, especially like anything ranging from like depression and all that, because like being in a dark place, like it just means a state of profound emotional, mental, or psychological distress, right? It's
Yeah,
often characterized by intense sadness, hopelessness, depression, or fear, right? I mean, and it's good that you guys can talk about that and open up about your shit, right?
but yeah, for sure. And if you even look at like Eminem, he's one I cite quite a bit because he speaks a lot from the heart. And but in that song "Beautiful," he says, "I'm just so fucking depressed, man. I just can't seem to get out this slump."
Hmm.
And it's like that is really cool that more artists are not just him, but there are many others, but that are beginning to be comfortable and open up like that to relate to our fans who are struggling, right? Because you never know who's hearing that, and that might just help save their life, you know?
Oh yeah, man. I've listened to that song numerous times in fucking, dark spots and shit, right? Like, just when you're feeling down and stuff, you get your tunes on.
Yeah, you could definitely vibe to it. And it's like, I think there's another song of his where he talks about where people sit up and cry at night wishing they died till they throw on a rap record, sit back and they vibe. And it's like that is definitely what I would do during those times. I was in a dark place
Yeah,
back then. So that song very much helped save my life. Hip hop in general helped save my life, from addiction,
yeah, man.
everything.
No, addiction's a bitch, man. I'm glad you overcame it, man.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely wasn't easy, man. Just like adulting.
Yep, got to be done.
Yep, exactly.
No, but your album there that you released, that was what, I believe September 30th of 2025, and has what, 13 songs?
It does, and it comes with 2 bonus tracks too.
Cool.
Yeah,
So that features Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Cher Bear, and Bizarre. Fuck yeah.
yeah. It's got Tech 9, Lazy Bone on it, Nate Dogg too. Just, yeah.
That's pretty cool there. How'd you get the Nate Dogg stuff?
Well, that actually came from Apocalypse. Apocalypse is on there too. I mean, he's an upcoming artist, and he was the one that already had the track, and I believe he was the one with the track. And yeah, he wanted to be able to work with me. So one way I do it, right? If an artist doesn't have money, I will take something of credible stature like that, right? It has a
Yep.
lot of room for growth and economic development, as I like to call it, right? It has potential to help us move forward, gain sales, revenue, things like that. So at the end of the day, if we can do it that way, I'm all about that to help everybody too.
Yeah,
Goes back to the saying my mom used to say: if you help somebody get to the top, you'll take yourself with them.
that's right.
Yeah.
No, true words have never been spoken, right?
Right.
Nah, but like even each collaboration that you've done, man, like it's like it explores your music skills, right? Gets you further known. And it reminds you of, like the huge distance that you traveled, like especially from your past to your present, right? You're like, holy shit, I actually did this stuff, right?
Right. Yeah, it's huge. Like even that remix with Eminem, my oldest brother reached out to me and was like, "Dude, you got to go hear this album." And I was
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, I will tomorrow." And when I got up the next day, I did, and that's when I heard Eminem actually say my name on a song, and I'm like, "Wait, what?" And I went back to him. He's like, I knew you were gonna say that." He's like, I knew it." He's like, "Ain't that crazy?" I was like, "Yeah, that is really crazy." A lot of us artists, we don't always get help from and encouragement and things like that, support from our own family. This brother definitely fell into those lines until he heard that, you know what I mean? And then he was just like, "Wow, you really are doing this stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, I really am." Uh, but it was really cool to have that, and then to get the sample clearance and stuff like that was just like, wow, you know, that was really cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
especially for somebody that big. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, especially with the Nate Dogg stuff. Like you had like some of his tracks there before he passed away, I believe, eh?
yeah. And see, that's another thing. Yeah. So Nate Dogg, oh man, I remember listening to him on Regulators with Warren G. And that just, man, his voice. I was like, wow, that dude's got an incredible voice, bro. And then later on, I know throughout the years, he did his own solo work and then also worked with Eminem, like in the Eminem show, right?
Yep.
And I just have always been blown away by that man's talent and performance for sure. To be able to work with him was just amazing. I was like, wow, uh, it's amazing. Like I said, what I get to do and how I get to do it for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've listened to like a lot of your tunes. It's just cool that you pour so much like your heart and soul into it, right? Like I've listened to a few of it, and there's times that I've listened to fucking shit on repeat, right? It's so good, man.
That's what's up. I appreciate hearing that, man. That kind of stuff I don't, hear enough as an artist, believe it or not. I think people often may assume, I mean, he must hear that shit all the time, you know what I mean? But to be honest with you, I really don't. But
No,
it definitely means a lot to me and keeps me going and motivates me to strive further, to go harder, to, search other domains within myself that maybe I haven't touched on, or ones I could touch on and get deeper and stuff like that with too.
you're doing it. You're still going. You know, you deserve every fucking bit of cred that you get.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely no easy task. There are so many upcoming underground artists. There's thousands, if not millions. And
Hmm.
to be able to stand out, it really says a lot, because I think
Yeah,
that's probably the most difficult thing to achieve as an artist.
definitely, man. Like trying to plug through everything, get your work done, you know, write your fucking lyrics up, your tunes, everything, right? It's like the same with me, man. Like I write shit.
And like all that stuff, it's a lot of work. It is a
Yeah.
lot of work, but the payoff, man, when you get to hear it, when it's all mixed and mastered, and oh man, you're like, wow, heck yeah, this is what I'm talking about, you know? So,
Yeah. Well, it's like the same when I put out an episode, right? Like I put everything into it, man. Like I do my research and I make sure it's good until it's done, right? And then I'm like, all right, I'm happy with this. And, I'll plug it off, right?
yeah, and then you get to enjoy that satisfaction after you're done with all your hard work, and that's like I was saying at the beginning of the pod, dude. Like I see you really do pour your heart and soul into all your research and everything that you uh dug up on this, and
Yeah,
about the
man.
Wu and about Wu Tang and me as an artist and things like that. It was cool, man. You know.
Yeah, no. I'm glad that, I got to pass along the notes here and see what you thought too, right? Which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely impressed with the knowledge and you learned some new stuff myself. So it's always good.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, going.
Yeah, and on another note here, like my boy's advocate for mental health and addiction recovery and everything. Like it's pretty cool. Like you recognize all this, like how it's really important in the community.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I definitely didn't expect to turn out like that with my life, but I realized it was either that or the way I was going to do. I was going to end up in jail, dead, or both. You know what I mean?
And it's good that you overcame all that, right? Like it's just totally cool that you embodied like hope to anyone facing their own battles, right? So this is like why I want everybody to go give you a follow, right, on social media. Like it's something you won't regret, right?
Definitely won't regret it. No. If you ever need to talk, like I'm not like that. Like I don't, I'll actually talk to you. If you're going through some shit, I'll hear you out. You know what I mean? I'd rather hear your story than read your obituary.
That's right, man.
So I'm always in for meeting new people, and that's one thing I think that's really helped me too as an artist. It's not just the music, but it's also how I interact with my fans. I definitely take the time to get to know them and things like that. Talk to them, ask them how they're doing, man. Believe it or not, I know how much that means to me when these bigger artists reach out to me. Hey, man, what's up? Solomon Child, for example. Dude calls me sometimes and just to be like, hey, bro, what's up? You know what I mean? Not to talk business, not to any of that, but just to see how I'm doing, man. Or vice versa, Hey, man, happy birthday. How you doing? You know what I mean? Just happy Father's Day, Merry Christmas. Just things like that, man, that really connect the brotherhood for sure.
No, that's all about respect too, right? Like
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely a lot of respect between us. We have a lot of respect for each other, both as MCs and as people, as friends, and it's really
yeah,
cool.
no, that's awesome, man. Well, even this tale that we're covering too, like it revolves around Enger Tower. So we mentioned a little bit earlier. So what this is it's a tower, obviously. It's an 80-foot or 25-meter high, five-story stone observation tower. Now, the whole observation towers are tall structures that are built specifically to provide elevated, wide-ranging views of the surrounding landscape. So this allows people to see far distances like sightseeing, monitoring, or spotting events like forest fires, shit like that. The Duluth Tower stands high above what's called Lake Superior, providing panoramic views of the Twin Ports. So panoramic meaning like a wide, unbroken, or comprehensive view. In short, it's just a kick-ass view is what it is, right?
Hmm.
And especially from the top floor, I mean, you can see like what, two states, two cities, and the endless expanse of the Great Lake too.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, it is.
have you ever been up there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. We definitely have. There's even a little place where like people can get married, have graduation parties, barbecue grills, the whole nine, and you can just see the whole city, the lake, everything, man. It's really cool.
Nice. No, that's pretty cool, especially like even being around like like Lake Superior is like the largest freshwater lake in the world by surface area, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty cool little spot, right?
It is. It's a really cool spot.
Oh yeah.
They have like they even have like, I'm sorry to cut you off. They even have like
Oh,
nature trails and things like that along the hillside there, and it's just really cool. You know, if you're somebody that likes to go on nature walks and things like that, it's a sight to see for sure.
hell yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. That's actually named after a dude named Hagbert J. Bert Enger. He was actually a Norwegian immigrant. So he moved to the Midwest as a 13-year-old kid. Then he rose from rags to riches in Duluth, ended up donating ships, parks, and golf courses to the city. Now, during his life, he ran an unsuccessful business up in Pine City in east central Minnesota. So sales were poor. This wasn't until he shortened his name to Bert. Then he opened up a store in Duluth with a dude named Emil Olson. So this dude was born November 15th, 1889. This is Johann Emil Olson. And he was born up in Haugland, Arnas, Vasternorlands. Hope I said that right. Or however you say it. Yeah, this is a province up in like Sweden or whatever. So he ended up passing away on July 6th, 1960, at the age of 70, so he had a long life. And Bert's American dream actually began in 1870s when he left Norway and he worked his way up from Castle Garden Emigrant Depot, which predated Ellis Island in Minnesota as a farmhand, a miner, and then a furniture salesman. So he did pretty good in his life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did.
Even later on in his life, like when he got to Duluth and he found his success as that furniture salesman, this was West End Furniture. He actually became the go-to guy in the city. So anytime you wanted furniture, you just go to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those two partners became wicked rich too. Like Bert was able to donate Enger Park and Enger Golf Course to the city back in 1921. And even in 1927, Enger and the Borgen family arranged for the Leif Erikson Viking ship to come visit Duluth. And then he eventually bought the ship and then donated it to the city just as he had done with the park. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So this dude was born on March 24th, 1864, up in an area around Norway. So big place.
Mm-hmm.
And he passed away on April 8th, 1931, at the age of 67 down in Hawaii. But during his life and everything, like even by 1920, he had considerable wealth. So he wanted to give something back to the city there. So at one point, he even dropped $50,000 for use in the new Hilltop Park area too.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good fucking guy to give all that away. Yeah, and that would actually spur the development of Enger Memorial Tower, which was completed in 1939. Now, even back in the day, the area was called Lookout Mountain. So Lookout Mountain actually refers to the hill where the Enger Memorial Tower stands. So
Okay.
it's pretty much like a huge figure-8 trail that actually brings you alongside the Cascade River, past upper, lower, middle, and upper falls. So it includes a steep climb up to the summit of the mountain with views of the falls before heading into the pine and like birch woods and shit. So
Nice.
it's pretty sweet. It's actually located near Lutsen in Minnesota's Cook County within Cascade River State Park. See colorful LED lights in this whole Japanese garden that they made. It's actually a local landmark and a tourist spot, like you were mentioning here.
Yeah. And that's up there by them trails and stuff.
That's not bad, man. I mean, even like all that still holds up considering the tower was built June 15th, 1939, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So, I mean, it's good that they built it in his honor and everything in his memory. And I haven't been to the tower or anything. Like, this is like the first time I ever looked at pictures and stuff of it, but I believe each of the tower's level has windows that are accessible by stairs. There's a green beacon mounted on top of the tower that can be seen for many miles, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's pretty cool, man. Like, tell me a little bit about the description of it, like walking inside or stuff. Like, can you see like all the stuff that's locked off and shit?
So yeah, he actually can. Um, but I know that there's a lower level that nobody can go down into. But when you go into it, you can go up and the windows are hollowed out, so it's not like there's any glass in them or anything like that. And that's one thing that kind of makes it dangerous, I guess,
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it does. But it's really cool. Even like when you walk up the first set of steps before you actually walk into the tower, it kind of has like a 360, almost like a porch, like, you know, made out of bricks and stuff. And it's just really cool, to walk around it, and see the 360 diameter there, and the different angles of what you can see. And then as you get into the tower, the stairs go around the tower. As you climb higher and higher, you can even see more and more.
Mm, that's pretty sweet there. Considering, like, I looked it up, like, the second floor has contained, like, a bunch of balcony sections and shit, too, or it did.
Yeah, yeah, it does. And like I said, there's a lot of people that go up there. Definitely a good tour spot. But morning of the day is not so much with the paranormal activity as it is in the evening and nighttime.
Well, I mean, even with some of the, well, you mentioned that you can't go through certain spots and stuff. Like, even I believe some of the balconies there eventually, like, they fell into disrepair and stuff. Some of them were removed, and some of their former entrances were blocked with like metal bars to keep people out of those areas.
Yes, exactly. And I think that it has to do with parts either of the structure or whatever that may be deemed unsafe for the public. So they
Hmm.
definitely have different areas blocked off, like you're describing.
Huh. That's pretty cool. So, like, it might be like a shitty part of the tower that, might collapse or something.
Right. Now, I don't think that it's weak, like with the structure of it collapsing, because then they wouldn't let anybody be in it. But maybe
Well, yeah.
something inside there, maybe I don't know. Maybe they're like a lot of like the shells are almost like stoned into the walls. So like if something like that's weak and could fall and potentially hurt somebody or something like that, it would be smart for them to kind of block that off to free them from any liability too.
Yeah. No, because they don't want to get sued for anything that happens in their tower.
See, that's just the bottom line to it too. But definitely don't want to get sued as a result of somebody getting hurt either.
Definitely not. No, plus like the whole green beacon thing's pretty cool. Like that thing gets lit up in honor of major events and shit, right? Around the Minnesota area and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is. It's really cool, especially like if you're driving out at night and you can, see it from the highway. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, dude, that's pretty cool. So as a kid, like, I always wanted to see, um, what do they call them? Uh, they got like lights and they help like the ships come to shore. I'm having a brain fart.
Oh, like the lighthouses.
Lighthouses, thank you. Yeah, my dad really loved them too, and I always wanted to see one. So that's kind of what it reminds me of, to be honest with you, when it has the light going out for the big events and stuff.
That's pretty sweet, man. Plus, you mentioned like the Japanese Peace Guard and walking trails and stuff. So I mean, there's always something for some people to do, right? You
Yeah.
know, and it's pretty cool. Like even visitors to the park, like they get wooded areas to enjoy. Like it's just plenty of shade in the summer days too, right?
Oh
But I
yeah.
mean, there are also some dark trees around that area too, like that come across most of the park, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty sweet. I mean, everybody's got something to go to, look at, hang out with, especially the ghosts and stuff whenever they're around at nighttime.
Oh yeah. And I got into that when I still lived out in Detroit. Um, there were different hauntings. People like friends of mine and stuff like that would tell me about them. And then I had my own personal encounter where I believe it was my father's spirit, dude. Like I almost was having like a dream, but it wasn't a dream, dude. I was too in control of it, and when I usually dream, things happen in a funny sequence that they don't happen in reality, right? Like there's missing things and stuff that I'll think about, like when I wake up, like wait, that made no sense. How did I even, you know what I mean? But with this, it wasn't like that. It was very structured. It was almost like if we were in another spirit world of some sort. And
Oh shit.
I had taken some medicine to help me sleep. I was prescribed it from the doctor for my depression. And I was
Mhm.
afraid I wouldn't be able to wake up in time. I had to use the bathroom, and I also had to I had a doctor's appointment or something I had to go to. And he was like, "Why can't you wake up?" I was like, "I don't know. Even my alarm can't wake me up." He said, "It's all right. I will." And I swear to you, when I woke up to him touching my foot, and I could see the outline of his shadow at the foot of my bed.
Oh
And
wow.
I was scared, but after I realized that that's probably who it was, and it wasn't like he was haunting me, he just was there for me one time, and I just was like, "Wow." That made me want to start to learn about paranormal activity.
Well, yeah, I mean that definitely opens up some new experiences and everything, right?
Yeah, because I had never experienced anything quite like that. I mean, I used to be scared of the basement when I was a kid, but I think that was more just anxiety. But this was definitely real, and I wasn't the only one who saw it. My ex that I was with at the same time was like, "What was that?" And I'm like,
Oh
"You saw
wow.
that too?" And she's like, "Oh yeah," you know.
See,
So
that's pretty cool, man. So Duluth's a pretty big thing. Like the Enger Tower is like a pretty big thing too. Like it takes, I believe, 105 steps to get up the whole thing.
yeah.
And the tower does close its doors seasonally for like winter time as early as December, because its doors typically close within the first significant snowfall. And then it's usually opened up again on May 1st. Now, even Enger Tower remains operated by the city today, and they have a visitor center located at 522 South Lake Avenue in Duluth. So, I mean, also surrounding this tower, which we'll get into, it also has a few ghost stories here. Now, I know that you wanted to hop on and talk about a little bit of this with me here, but I found like one that was pretty crazy in anger here. Now, the first one is that some folks around the area, mainly the visitors, they reported sightings of a man on top of the level who vanishes, and this is linked to a legend of someone dying by jumping off the tower back in the year 1940, so making it one of the several allegedly haunted spots in the city, alongside places like the St. Louis County Depot and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about the St. Louis County Depot?
I really don't. This is the first time really hearing about that one.
Huh. Maybe we should do another pod on that later.
Hey, yeah, most definitely do some research on that, and I'll go check out the scenery and touch base on it. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Even the spirit here is actually seen on the fifth level of the tower. Now, the witnesses that climb the tower, like they get up the staircase, they get to the fifth floor, and then it's completely empty. But there are some that say when they reach that floor, that they see the spirit only for a moment. As they walk closer, he then disappears. And I mean, there's only one way in or out of the tower, right? So I mean, if this guy's disappearing, it's pretty scary.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. What you talked about a little bit ago with the barred up windows and other entrances and things like that. Yeah, there's no other way out of it except for to jump out a window. But
But I mean, this dude here, like he did a whole suicide jump apparently. He jumped off the tower's very top level and then splatted on the stone walkway down below, right? So pretty
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. And thing is, my fiance, she even told me that one time when she was there, this is before her and I were together, but
Hmm.
that she actually seen like somebody up there and figuring it was a tourist or whatever, she just went up there. But when she went up there, they were gone. And there's only that one staircase. So you most definitely would have seen somebody passing by if they went down from the top floor. And it was all the way up
Yeah.
at the top floor.
Huh. That's insane.
Right. And that's kind of what got my interest in Enger Tower myself. And then I found out about my cousin. And I was like, oh, wow, you know. But he wasn't a very depressed person. And I feel like if he was, he's one that would have reached out rather than did that. He was, didn't want to die. He loved life and everything like that,
Yeah.
So, and he took his dog, and there were other people with him when he went, too. And there were no signs of, according to them, that he was in any way, shape, or form upset, even in the least bit, or wanted to die or anything like that. There was no note. There was no none of that. And they said that it was like he got pushed.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't a jump back. It wasn't like he was walking backwards and tripped. It wasn't like none of that. It was like something hit him in the chest and he just flew out that window.
Shit.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, and thank you for the condolences. I appreciate that.
No, no worries, man. I mean, that's just crazy how like it just seems like he just got like pushed out the window.
Yeah, yeah, and especially for other people to be there and actually witness this. And one of the people is a high skeptic of things like this. You know what I mean? Like they don't.
Doesn't believe in it.
Yeah, like they're not a big believer into it. They've always been like, yeah, right. Like I think people just make that up for attention or whatever. And I kind of was on both sides of it until I had my first encounter. Like, it could be that, and it also could be true, right? But after it happened to me, I without a doubt knew that there had to be truth to some of these things. And for him to, you know, be dead like that is just crazy because the windows aren't big enough really for like a person who's like, how tall are you, might I ask?
About five and a half.
You're about 5'5.5". It would even be like too short, really, for you to really kind of jump out of, unless like you were to sit on the windowsill.
And then get, backwards out or something.
Yeah, backwards that way, or like you would have to like put your feet out first and kind of sit out and then jump. It would have to be very carefully articulated for you to be able to do it. And this guy was about 5'9", 5'10", out the window. Yeah, it was just a smaller window. So that's another thing that drew a lot of suspicion to it.
Oh shit. Yeah, no doubt, man.
Like I would think that I'm 6'2", 6'3". So for me to get out there, I mean, there'd be no way to just jump backwards like that, bro.
No. So something had to like physically like force him out that window.
Right.
Shit.
Especially, I think, with the amount of feet out, it would have to be a pretty incredible jump. Almost like somebody that does like a long jump for Olympics or something might be able to achieve that. So, like, and this dude definitely was not in the greatest shape of his life. He wasn't in bad shape. He just wasn't somebody who actively worked out like an Olympian.
Huh. Shit, man. That's pretty crazy. Thanks for telling that.
Hey, you're welcome.
Well, even like you said, he had his dog with him too, and he wasn't one to leave his dog, by himself.
Right. Yeah, and that was the first thing when my uncle was telling me about it. Rest in peace to my uncle, by the way. He passed away the day after Christmas in 2025. So,
Shit, I'm sorry, bro.
yeah, it's something weighing on us. We're getting through it though, taking it day by day, and just trying to make peace with the time that we had with him and be grateful for that. Definitely a good guy. man, probably one of the best people I've ever met in my life.
Good.
I'm very proud to say that he's my uncle. So, you know,
No,
he was the one who began to tell me about this, and you know, I was like, wait, what? Because I never actually got to meet my cousin, but he showed me pictures, old photo albums, and things like that, and was telling me everything that happened surrounding the event.
I mean that's good that you got the memories and everything there, man. Like the photos, all that. That's fucking dope, man.
Yeah, it is. He's a good dude, man. He's somebody that would help anybody. He just had a heart of gold, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely a good dude. Um, you know, Christian man, you know. So I don't feel like he would have anything to gain from making a lie up like this either. You know what I mean? Like I just,
No.
like I said, it's not just him saying it. You know, these things like not just about him, but there are many other people that have been said to be pushed out one of those windows too.
Jesus, eh?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm all for paranormal investigating, bro, but I don't want to go flying out a window either.
No. I'm gonna stay over here. But no, like even that dude that jumped there, like his body here was only found like hours later. But authorities couldn't identify him, right? And his name actually remains unknown to this day. Nobody
What?
ever identified him, or nobody ever claimed his body. Yeah, just
Yeah,
crazy.
that's pretty
Like,
crazy too.
well, yeah, I mean, especially since there's like other spirits here, like we were mentioning here, like people seeing shadowy figures lurking in around the tower, especially more so in the evenings and the mornings, like you said.
For sure. For sure. And like even my fiance, what she told me about, you know, she goes up there and it's gone. And I was like, really? She said, yeah. She said there have been people that have been reported, you know, as suicides and they can't be explained. Because when you go up in the tower, it's not physically possible with the laws of physics.
Mm. That's crazy, dude. I mean, there are some here too. There's a couple stories that say people hear like sounds when they're climbing up the steps too. Like some visitors actually make claims of hearing ghostly voices chatting inside the empty tower, and the voices are just like always really quiet and kind of distant, but you can hear them. Now,
Yeah, and that's something else even I did notice myself when I was in there
mhm.
was I was hearing like almost like somebody like whispering, like if they're trying to be quiet and not draw attention to themselves. And then when I turned that way, there was nobody over there. So it's like,
Wow.
yeah. So, but there were other people there, so I just kind of I didn't know if it was somebody else that maybe I heard or whatever. But
Mhm.
like I said, I like to try to debunk it with scientific evidence as much as possible before I make a claim or assume that it's something paranormal.
Yeah. No, I mean that's how it should be, right? You try to debunk it first, right?
Yeah. Because not everything's gonna be paranormal. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that's
No.
like, oh shit, yeah, it was this, or it was the wind that blew that door open, or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And people have also heard like disembodied footsteps, especially up in the like higher floors here. Because when the tourists head up the steps, they hear the footsteps, but nobody's ever found. So I mean, it's pretty cool shit. Like even some pretty cool history that surrounds this place that we talked about too.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a pretty cool little place. Like since you guys have went and everything, and then you've done your investigating on it, and other people have had their say with it. I mean, it's definitely a haunted spot.
Yeah, definitely.
But do you know any other spots around there that are haunted, do you think?
You know, that's really the only one I've ever really heard of, and I've just heard so much on it, and I'm like, wow. So that's what kind of drew my attention towards looking into it and investigating it. Other than that, not really. Not around here,
Huh. Well, I could take a look and see if there's any other haunted places around here for our next episode, buddy.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. If you want to do that, I'll even go check them out, bro. And kind of give you my own personal feedback. I think that one's, just a tall tale, or no, this one actually has some weight to it, things like that to kind of,
Well,
you
that'd be
know.
cool. Like, you could do your video shit. You could send that to me, and I can try to add it into the pod somehow, so that we'll talk about that,
Oh,
right?
dude, that'd be badass. Yeah, we could do that.
I think that'd be badass, yeah.
Yeah, me too. That'd be really
Well, I
cool.
thank you very much for coming on here and everything, buddy. Here, so I mean that's fucking awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, you're welcome, man. You have a great day, and look forward to seeing you again on another podcast.
Oh yeah, no, we'll
We'll
definitely
do
do that,
another
man.
episode, like you said. I really like that idea.
Yeah, no, and that's our little tale on Enger Tower, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed, and definitely go check him out on like his Facebook, TikTok, especially his Facebook. There, you'll see every upcoming thing. You know, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I update quite a bit on Instagram and Facebook, but Facebook the most. So,
Okay, so follow him on Facebook, folks. You won't be disappointed.
thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. And everybody else, hey, go follow. What is your name?
Twisted Tales.
Twisted Tail. Yeah, definitely a cool guy. I think you jumped on one of my posts, and you like to engage very well.
Thank you.
And I noticed that right away. And once I seen that you were into the paranormal thing, I'm like, dude, I gotta tell this guy this story. So
I'm glad you did, man.
yeah, me too. Me too.
We got her done. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I thank you guys for joining in on another episode of Twisted Tales here, and I guess we'll see you on the next one.
Twisted Tales.